In this video we have g of x equals x times f of x, and the problem tells us that f of 3 equals 4 and f prime of 3 equals negative 2. And the question they ask is, what is an equation of the tangent at x equals 3? Okay, so g of x equals x times f of x. We don't know what f of x is in general, so we don't know what g of x is in general. So we can't really draw a good picture of it, but the idea is that we know some values of f at x equals 3. So say g of x looks like that, right? We don't really know what it looks like, but we know what f of 3 is, so we'll be able to find out what g of 3 is. And we want this tangent line, right? So this tangent line is going to pass through g of 3, and the slope is going to be g prime of 3, right? Those are things that we can figure out because of this information that we were given. Okay, so let's get started. So the first step is to take the derivative of g prime of x. We're going to use the product rule. So the derivative of x is 1, and we leave f of x untouched, and then we add, take the derivative of f of x, which is f prime of x, and we leave that x on the left alone. Okay, so that's the product rule. Now we know that the slope of this tangent line is going to be g prime of 3. So let's go ahead and plug in 3 for x. Okay, so that's going to be 1 times f of 3 plus 3 times f prime of 3, sorry. Right, we plugged in x equals 3, so this x turns into a 3. Okay, so that's going to be 1 times 4, f of 3 is 4, plus 3 times f prime of 3, which is negative 2. That's 4 minus 6, so that's, what's that, right? It's negative 2. So this picture is wrong, right? This is a positive slope, and it's actually negative, but this was just the idea, right? We wanted to find the slope at 3. We found it. G prime of 3 is equal to negative 2. Okay, so in our thought bubble over here, we're going to have y equals mx plus b, right? Where m is the slope and b is a constant. So we're building up this equation. It's going to be negative 2x plus b, all right? We need to find what b is. So how are we going to do that? So this line has to pass through what g is at 3, right? A way to write that is g of 3 has to equal y of 3. Well, we don't know what g of 3 is yet, so let's plug it in. G of 3, that's going to be 3 times f of 3, right? That's just the definition of g. It's x times f of x. So if we plug in 3, it's 3 times f of 3. So what's that? It's 3, and then f of 3 is 4, so it's 3 times 4. That's 12. Okay? So then let's plug into this. G of 3 equals y of 3. Okay, we found out g of 3 is 12, so 12 equals y of 3. What's y of 3? That's negative 2 times 3 plus b. This tells us that 12 is equal to negative 6 plus b, and that tells us that b is equal to 18. So if we put all that together, we have our answer. It's going to be y equals negative 2x plus 18. This is the equation of the tangent line that passes through x equals 3 for g of x. Right? We found the slope, it was g prime of 3, and then we made it pass through g of 3. Right? The tangent line has to just touch the graph at that one point, and in this case that point is g of 3.